Happy to be here. I just came from Tel Aviv, Israel. It's my second time in the sector. I think we've been here a couple of months ago. And just before starting, I'll be happy to know how many of you are running awareness training programs in their companies. If you can raise your hand. Interesting. Too little. Okay. So for those who don't, I hope I will try to convince you to start with. For those who are running something, I will convince you that you are doing something wrong. And together, we'll try to come up with the right direction. Which one goes? Which one? What? Oh, okay. So this is the former CTO of the Mossad. We are Israelis, so we like all the secret services. I came from the National Israeli Security Agency. And it's a common knowledge, I think, for everyone to understand that defense is always in a so-called bad position. The attacker always has the advantage, and he needs to succeed only once. Okay? In many cases, when you are trying to understand how to measure security, mostly in front of your executives or your board members, if nothing happens in security, it's good, right? So if nothing happened, why should we invest? Okay. That's something that we all know. Next, it's the other way around. Yeah. When we're looking at different attack groups, APT-42, the Iranian guys, or even just kids from I don't know where, that's how their schedule looks like, okay, as opposed to yours. Who's going to win? Quite obvious, right? So actually, when you are under the security job, you're probably the only one who doesn't sleep well. All the other guys, your CEO, your CFO, they have good nights, unless they are sweating. The nights in Budapest probably like in Tel Aviv now. But the CISO is always busy. In some cases, at least in the Israeli community, we say that the CISO is just hiding below the bed. Okay? But the hacker is always moving, is always changing his tactics, he's trying to manipulate us, and as security teams, we need to be in the same pace. Okay? So what does it mean when it comes to awareness training? Okay. All the stats showing that current awareness training programs don't actually work. There's a lot of stats on different aspects, different metrics that are showing that your employees still behave like in the 80s. They forgot that we are all connected from all our devices, working from home. Do they use VPN? They don't use VPN? Do they leave their stuff to everyone or not? So working from home brought us to a point in time that every employee should be able to decide how to behave. He doesn't have you as his controller at home. So the problem is just going to increase. Whew. I need some tricks here. Yeah. And other stats. The next problem, or one of the explanations why employees do not adopt security habits, is because they are not engaged. Why they are not engaged? I might be criticizing, but as you all see, I guess, during the day, most of the security presentations are too boring. So we have a lot of stories about what is threatening out there, but maybe we're talking too much, and maybe we're not doing it the right way. So we all know when it comes to mandatory training that you must do, okay? Got some alerts from his SOC team, probably it was on the weekend. Okay, the hackers are so-called smart enough to know our weaknesses. So if you are not running continuously, you might be failing. That's one. Second, the content, the presentations, the input should be short. What do I mean by short? Seconds. Seconds means maybe 30 seconds. Your employees today, like most of us, don't have much attention. They are used to TikTok, right? Short, short messages. You don't, it's all TLDR, right? We need it short. And if your content is not short enough, shorten it. It's an effort, but it's worth it. Tip number 3. When should we teach? So one of the best ways that we get our lessons is when we are not succeeding. Our experience mostly built on our mistakes. So we need to allow mistakes only during training. If they are doing mistakes, that's the right time to correct them. Long lectures or disconnection between the behavior, the act, the execution, and the training, if you have a long gap, you're going to fail. So we need to teach just in time. How many of you like to be tested? Okay. We don't like to be tested, and one of the most common awareness training practice is called phishing test. When you try to manipulate your employees, test them, show the results, no. It's stressful, it's negative, it's the wrong way to become security fan. So what I would suggest you, if you have some kind of test, delete it, ignore it. I'll show you a different way to play the game. So no test in our schools. The last point, or the last tip, is to use data to analyze the learning process. I think that as a vendor, we are the only vendor in the world that is using data analytics. One can call it AI. Honestly, we're not using AI, just machine learning. But we're the only vendor that is using data to analyze the learning process. So if you have a continuous approach and you can trigger your employees all the time. Again, like in running, and you are wearing your data machine, okay, the Garmin or the, what's the name? Never mind. Something that is measuring your data constantly, then you can get smart decisions and to adapt the program according to the actual performance. Okay, so whether you are going to visit us and meet Attila, okay, see our demo, and if not, try to adopt these 5 tips to improve your current program. If you are not having any program, use these tips to build your program. So let's go to Attila. Okay, I will stop here. I'm almost running out of time. We don't need to play the videos. Okay, we're going to play with you.
Thank you, Mike. Üdvözlök mindenkit én is, én Attila vagyok, a Filtermax Kft. IT biztonsági rendszermérnöke, és amiért én most itt szót kértem, ugye itt már többször elhangzott az, hogy itt most lesz nekünk egy live demónk, egy interaktív demónk. Őszinte legyek, gondolkodtunk, hogy mennyire tegyük ezt interaktíván, mennyire legyen az, hogy megpróbáljuk azt, hogy akkor phishing leveleket küldünk, és ki az, aki rákap. Aztán igazából... But not a test, nem egy teszt, így van, tehát hogy tesztelni nem fogunk senkit. Ez az egyik oka, amiért ezt elvetettük. A másik oka, hogy nem igazán akartunk élni ezzel a kockázattal, hogyha valaki éppen egy phishing támadás alatt áll, és azt hiszi, hogy ez biztos mi küldtük, akkor rákattintunk, és utána tényleg egy ilyen támadást elkap, hát nem igazán szerettünk volna ezt így elérni, úgyhogy kicsit átalakítottuk ezt az egészet, mégpedig úgy fog történni, hogy a CybeReady @filtermax.hu e-mail címről fogtok kapni itt most az előadásunk után egy Awareness Bytes-ot. Ezt mindenkinek az inboxába meg tudja találni. Ez igazából egy ilyen info morzsa, ami be fogja nekünk mutatni azt, hogy milyen biztonsági tippeket tudunk itt most a mindennapos IT dolgokba elérni. Ez az egyik, amit fogtok kapni, valamint 2 phishing levelet is fogtok kapni, ami, ha minden jól megy, a spambe fog kerülni. Ugyanis reméljük, hogy ezek a spam szűrők működnek, és érzékelni fogják ezek a szolgáltatók, hogy hát nem biztos, hogy én itt most a Microsoft vagy más gyártó nevében kommunikálok, úgyhogy a mai nap folyamán 2 ilyen levelet fogtok kapni, ezt ugyanúgy a CybeReady @filtermax.hu-tól fogjátok kapni, úgyhogy a spambe lévő leveleket nyugodtan nézzétek meg. Arra a linkre rákattinthattok, tehát ezt most ténylegesen mondom, hogy amelyik tőlünk jön, arra rá lehet kattintani, át fog vezetni titeket arra az oldalra, amit az alkalmazottaink, vagy az, aki rákattint erre a vírusos linkre látna, ahol egy rövid oktatást fogtok látni, de ezt majd ki tudjátok próbálni. Úgyhogy én nem is húzom tovább az időt, köszönöm szépen a figyelmeteket, és akkor át is adnánk a lehetőséget a következő előadónak. Köszönjük szépen!